Hello, friends. How are you? My name is Mike. This channel right here is Health and Wealth. Today we're talking about Group C and the announcement from YieldMax and their distributions. Now, this is going to be in two different sections. One's the weeklies, and then the other one is ones that they pay out every 4 weeks. This is, again, Group C out of group. There's 4 groups, A, B, C, D. So this is the third week into their monthly cycles, if you will. I don't know if that even made sense, but yeah, they pay out these, the first grouping every single week. The second grouping, they pay every 4 weeks. And we're going to talk about those, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's get into it right here. First things first is YieldMax announced at 6:55 a.m. this morning the announcements of their distributions here. And you can find that on Twitter under YieldMax ETFs. I'm also going to retweet this. So if you want to follow me at Wealthy 2034 on Twitter, I'm there too. Let's go to the actual page here with the announcements on it. Well, things got a lot brighter, didn't it? So let's talk about the first one. CHPY is the ETF symbol, 39 cents. I want to do 2 things with this today. I want to look at past distributions over the last few weeks. I also want to take a look at its AUM, see how much money is in this fund. So 39 cents is right on pace with every other week, it looks like here. So it's very consistent in its paying, and it's been paying you since April 16th. So only a few months in there so far, and it's definitely paid a very consistent distribution so far. Let's take a look at the AUM. 37 million in CHPY. Not a lot of money in that fund, but interesting because it is very consistent in its paying. Let's take a look at the share price, $52.50. Now, by the time, there we go, it went down $1 since the last time I looked at this. So by the time you watch this video, it could change again. Very volatile times in terms of share price for just about every company out there. Over the last 5 days, down 5.5%. Now, this is not a very fair week to talk about this going forward because the entire last 3.5 days now have not been good on the stock market. Very, very red, right? So, I mean, since it's come out, though, it's still up 12%. That's why I find it strange that only $37 million isn't there. I don't have my money in it either. There is some fears, right? It's all about the chips, the AI chips, and hardware, software chips. There is fear, though, that with trade wars and things like that, that tariffs can be put on those chips really, really easily, and that could be a drawback to the whole chip industry, right? NVIDIA, as an example, is flip-flopped 3-4 times with what the government told them they can do. They did every single time, and then they flip-flop again. So, I mean, it's a tough business to be in for sure. All right, next is GPTY, 30 cents for GPTY. This is your AI play. 30, what did I just say? 30 cents for GPTY. Let's go take a look at its past distributions. So again, very consistent. And I love consistency when it comes to distributions. Jay had asked a question on one of the Twitter spaces this past week. Would the YieldMax people be interested in something that just pays, 50, 70%? You threw out a bunch of numbers, right? A bunch of percentages. Would anybody be interested in a fund that just pays a steady number every single month, right? And so I have something like that right now with HHIS in Canada, and I absolutely love that it pays me 25 cents every single month. I know when I'm going to get paid, unless the market tumbles. Wait a minute. And that number comes down potentially. But for the most part, I know what I'm going to get paid. And I love that. I don't know about you guys, but what we're looking at right here is something similar to that. Every single week, it seems to be paying the same amount of money, give or take a few cents. GPTY share price 43. Well, let's do a refresh here. 43.10 over the last 5 days, down 6.37%. Again, not very fair to look at this because of the market over the last little while. Let's go since its beginning, down 13% or $6.62. We go back here, it's definitely paid you a lot of distributions in a consistent manner. Before I would invest in that, I would go add up all of the distributions to see if it's still positive. in your return, if that makes sense. Let's take a look at the AUM, the amount of money, assets under management here that YieldMax deals with. So $47 million in this fund. 1,075,000 shares outstanding of your money in that, right? So that's kind of interesting. Next one is LFGY paying 41 cents. Let's go take a look at that one as I scroll down here. 41 cents is a little bit lower than every single week so far. That is the lowest since April 23rd, it looks like. But you know what? It's right in the same ballpark of consistency again, isn't it? LFGY share price right now, $34.33 as of the time of this recording, which is approximately 10:30 in the morning. So over the last 5 days, down 5.24%. But since it's come out, down 36%. If we scratch this week out of it, that's 31%. It's down in share price. So yeah, you're getting a good consistent distribution with this one, but your share price is not doing so hot in the crypto world. If we take a look at the last, month or so, crypto's just been up and down like a yo-yo, kind of to be expected. I know for a fact people are not happy with Riot as an example, which was one of the funds that is inside of this one, or one of the stocks inside of this fund. The price of crypto or Bitcoin goes up. They're a Bitcoin miner and their stock isn't doing very well. People aren't happy about that. So it's an interesting world of crypto, isn't it? Next, we have QDTY paying 19 cents. This one follows the QQQ. And 19 cents is very consistent to last week, but you can see it hovers from 19 all the way up to like 27 over the last 5-6 weeks here. Amount of money in this fund is 12 million. That's it. That's interesting. I mean, it doesn't pay a ton, that's for sure, but 12 million. QDTY, let's look at it. Refresh here. 43.94 today is the share price as of right now. Down 2.69% in the last 5 days. So better than the first bunch that we looked at, isn't it? And since it's come out, down 13% share price, but you are getting a fairly consistent distribution so far. Next is SDTY, which should be, here it is. I went backwards in order. SDTY, 16 cents. This one's kind of plain Jane, follows the S&P 500. Again, consistency, right? So 16 cents is lower than the last 2 weeks, but higher than the week before. The amount of money in this fund is $13 million. If you're looking for consistent income, these could be good plays for you. I know for me, I'm not into them just because $45 for a share price and 16 cents for a distribution. I nailed that 45, by the way, didn't I? 16 cents for a distribution every week. If we look at that, it's like 64 cents. I mean, let's go take a look at the announcement here. What does it say here? 19% distribution rate. It's not for me personally. And then, let's take a look at the share price of it as well. Since it's come out here in the last 5 days, the market has not been good. Look at this. It's not too bad, right? Down 0.5%. And then since it's come out, down 10% in share price, or $5.29. So, yeah, tough to say why not a lot of money is in there. I can tell you why my money is not in there. It's not really bringing in enough to make it worth it. For me, in my tax state up here in Canada, I got to pay 15% withholding tax on any money that I bring in. And so 16 cents with the amount of capital that I have just wouldn't bring in enough to pay the bills over here, if that makes sense. All right, next up we have RDTY. I kind of skipped this one. I think they changed the order. I don't know what's going on, but 39 cents. RDTY, the Russell. Man, I looked at the Russell yesterday, and it had been doing better than the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq there. So interesting. So 39 cents. This one always pays the most out of those three groupings, and it is a pretty high payment compared to the week before, which was 31 cents. And my apologies, I should zoom in a little bit for you guys. By the way, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Hit the subscribe if you want to see more news like this, or if you want to, watch a guy talk about high yield distributions. That's me. My name is Mike. The channel's name is Health and Wealth. Share this with your friends as well. And let them know there's different worlds of investing out there. I like to talk about that stuff, and I'm just a regular guy with a regular job, with an extra regular family. They're very nice, and I'm trying to make it in the world just like you. So your subscribe means a lot. So 39 cents, pretty good all the way back to July here. 39 cents share price. Yeah, I noticed the chart was not very happy earlier with RDTY. Can I refresh this? Okay, so 44.22, down 1.5% in the last terrible week here. Since it's come out down 10%, but I mean, that has a lot to do with this big drop right here. Since the drop of April to April 8th, so now it's up 8% share price, plus you're getting your distributions. I shouldn't really be giving my opinion, but I mean, you guys tell me what my opinion is between the three of them, RDTY, SDTY, and QDTY. Which one is better? Let's go look at the AUM of RDTY. It's the lowest. It's $7.8 million, but it's paid the most. And if we take a look at that price right there, it is holding up with the other two as well. Interesting. Let's get on to ULTY. Now, this one I'm specifically interested in because I'm building shares in this one. But this is now the 6th week in a row that it's paid out 10 cents. A lot of fear in the market right now, specifically with the YieldMax crew like yourself and myself talking about ULTY and its share price going down. But this is now going to be the 6th week in a row paying 10 cents per share. That's 60 cents over six weeks. That's pretty good. And you can see there 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And then before that, 9 and 9 and 9 and 8. So it's hovering from the 8 to 10 cents every single week. This fund had a drop in AUM yesterday because of the fear in the stock market. I don't blame people either. But $3.2 billion in this fund. For me, I'm continuing to build it up. I'm continuing to build the amount of shares I have. And yeah, it's a tough market, everybody, right? Tough market, but 10 cents definitely helps that blow a little bit. Share price of ULTY is down over the last specifically 3 trading days here. I guess it would be now 3.5 trading days it's down. You can see here the share price is $5.64. If we look at the last 5 days, it's down 5% or 31 cents. Last month down 10% or 70 cents. And then if we go all the way back, I mean, this is not a fair chart to look at. So I like to go from right here, which is April 4th till now. They made a big change in their prospectus and the way they do things around March 20th, and that really started to take effect in April here. So up 3% share price, plus you're getting that consistent distribution every single week. Now, personally, I wouldn't be surprised if that did drop back down to 9 or 8 cents here in terms of distribution, only because the share price is getting a little bit lower, and that is concerning for sure. Next up, we have YMAG. YMAG paying 14 cents. Let's take a look at YMAG. There's the 14 cents right there. Let's take a look at the share price of YMAG here, $15.07. It's paying out 14 cents, and it's been paying a very long time, everybody. Lower than last week, but double from the 2 weeks before that, right? So, yeah, 14 cents. I mean, this thing's up and down like a yo-yo. We talked earlier on in the video about consistency. YMAG is not consistent here. It's just all over the map here and in different distributions that is paying out. I'm going to read it out for those who are watching or listening in the car. Last week was 16 cents. Then it was 7, 20, 15, 12, 5 cents, 15, 16, and 17, right? So this week, again, oh man, I have a terrible short-term memory, is 14 cents. I don't know. How do you feel about that? Let's go take a look at the AUM in this fund. $381 million of your money in this fund, 24,825,000 outstanding shares for this fund that they pay that 14 cents out to per share. YMAG, again, $15.07 over the last 5 days here, down 3%. Not as bad as some of the other funds out there. But since it's come out here, down 25% share price, you're getting a good distribution, right? And a lot, again, this is a broken record, I know, but a lot has to do with from February till April with that one. Since April till now, it's up 11%, which is fantastic, plus the distribution. Okay. Now, we are entering into uncertain times here with the market. So, might it dip again even more? Yes, it might. Let's go to the next one, which is YMAX. Which is going to be the last of the weeklies. And then we're going to take a little pause for subscribing, for liking, and we're going to get into the 4 weeklies. So YMAX here paying out 16 cents in distribution. And YMAX is fairly consistent with distributions. It's hovering around that 16 cents, but last week was 11, the week before 14 cents. And then you get your 16, 18, 10, 13. So it's hovering from what's the lowest there? 10 cents all the way up to 16 or 18 cents is its high in the last 7 weeks here. But yeah, hovering from 10 to 18 cents every single week. Sure. This one has a lot of money in its fund, which means a lot of people are invested in YMAX. They love the pool. They love having it all together. $1.12 billion in this fund here. 87,350,000 outstanding shares for YMAX. And YMAX share price has really dipped over the last 5 days, down 4% or $12.55. I mean, take a look at that chart. Not looking very good over the last year here, down 29%. Since April 4th till today, up 5.229%, paying out a good distribution every single week. For me, I don't know, you guys. It's not something that I love, and I know a lot of people love YMAX. But I don't love YMAX just because I mean, you look at the month here. I mean, if we can exclude what's the date here? If we can exclude Friday, let's go from Friday to the last month here, right? So if we can exclude the last 4 days, it's still down 5.96% in a bullish type market. Bullish. Hashtag bullish type market. And I mean that shouldn't happen, right? In a bullish market. It shouldn't go down 5.96% in a bullish type market. Take a drink every time I say bullish. All right, so that's going to be your weeklies. Let's jump into the ones that are coming out every 4 weeks. And this, again, is Group C. If you can hit the like, the subscribe for me. And by the way, I have memberships available. Hit the join button down below. See which one is more your speed. I've got 3 options: $1.99, $4.99, and then I got $10.99 for the whales out there who really like to support the channel. Any of those options I love. Thank you very much for doing that. Here comes the 4 weeklies. Group C, these are the ones, and I want to talk about pay schedule here. So Group C pays is announced on Wednesday. The X date is tomorrow, which means we should see a drop with the amount of money that's coming up here, depending on how the market does tomorrow. Could be worse, could be better. And then we get paid. Most people get paid on Friday. I get paid on Monday for mine just because of my brokerage. They take the taxes and then they don't put it into my account so I can see it until Monday. So, all right, cool. First one is ABNY. Airbnb play paying out 29 cents. Let's take a look at ABNY in here. 29 cents is lower, and that's going to be a trend on this video if you don't already know. Lower is the trend. 29 cents. Last month was 37, then 32, then 38, and 60, right? So quite a bit lower. ABNY share price $10 and let's refresh here. 57 cents over the last month, though. Down 11% in share price. That's not good. And down 48% since it's come out. But I mean, wow. So it's only been out since June 28th, and it's already down half its value. That's not looking good at all. I'll move on. Let's talk about the next one, AMDY. AMD has a lot of news this last few weeks anyways. It could be an interesting play, AMD itself or AMDY. But I'm not a financial analyst. I'm just here for your entertainment and reading you the news. That's all, right? So AMDY paying of 54 cents. Let's take a look at it here. 54. Okay, last month was 56, 46, 42, 33. AMDY share price is down 5 or 3.99% today. Holy smokes. Let's look at the last month, down 6.3%. Its share price is $8.18. It's down 55% since it's come out, but it really has been tailing off here. For me, I don't really pay attention to AMD too much. It's one of the chip companies. But before you invest in this, you may want to go look into AMD, see how they're doing, what's their earnings looking like, all of that stuff, and take a look at some of their the news involved with it, that sort of thing. But this is down 56%. This is the YieldMax version of it that pays you a monthly or 4 weekly distribution, right? This 4 weekly distribution is 54 cents per share. Next one is something that I recently made a change. I made videos on it too. It's CONY, paying out 34 cents. For me, I wasn't really impressed with the direction that CONY had been going over the last few months. A very negative share price in the last couple of months, and I was planning on dripping this for 5 years, but I hadn't seen any forward progression here. My share price kept getting lower, and my distributions kept getting lower because of that. And so this month, this 4 week cycle is at 34 cents. So what I did was I turned off the drip. I'm going to make a big video on this on Sunday, this and HOOY combined on Sunday because they're both from Group C. But I made a big change where I turned off the drip, and now I'm just going to take in the distributions for that and get paid back in full of my initial investment, which is right around $2,900 in there. So this month, this 4 week cycle, paying out 34 cents on CONY. This is going to be one of its lowest payments ever. And you know what? Coinbase didn't really have a great month either, so that has a lot to do with it. Something to do with synthetic options not really paying out as well as they could have. I didn't follow it, to be honest with you, too much. I watched Retire on Dividends videos where he talked about synthetic and I don't know, you take my money, that kind of thing. I was about to get into it, Rod, but I didn't do it. Okay, in respect for your amazing voice. So 39 cents for this, and honestly, I was hoping to get about $300 between this and HOOY to go pay for ULTY, but I'm not going to get even close to that. So you can see on the screen here, 39 cents is like half price from last month. 53 cents, 73, 65. There's a 43, right? So this has been the lowest payment by a bunch here. Share price of CONY is $6.92. It's down 2.12%. Market's not doing very well these days, right? So that has a lot to do with it. But over the last month, Tiger down 32% in share price. Oh my goodness, right? It did have a good run right up here, up to $10 in July, on July 21st. So a month ago, it was at $10.21. It had a good run up there, but since then, coming right back down to reality. So that's CONY. My plan for CONY is, again, just to leave it and take the distributions and buy something that I want to buy with that money until I recoup my initial investment, which, at 39 cents is going to take a while for that to happen. Next, we have CVNY, which is $2.55. This is the Carvana play, $2. Oh, wait 1 second, you guys. Can we let's go backwards. CONY. I'd be interested to watch this number, $1.33 billion in net assets on this fund. It's one of YieldMax's bigger funds. You can see right above my head here, 188,275,000 outstanding shares. Those would be interesting numbers to take a look at. Is it on sale right now to buy, or is it on fire sale to sell? I don't know. For me, I'm keeping it, right, just to get those distributions. But yeah, let's go look at CVNY. I got to do a little mental recap. $2.55, pretty good, 80%, right? Pretty darn good for sure for CVNY. It has paid out good distributions since it's come out. Only one time it dipped into the dollar range. So since then, though, it's paying at least $2 all the way up to $4.56. This is going to be its seventh payment. CVNY share price over the last month down 10% in share price. A lot to do with the last couple of days here. Yeah, a lot to do with the last couple of days. Since it's come out, it's down 21% or $10. So it started at the $50 range. I want to go backwards here just a little bit and take a look at this $50 range, eh? I always like to know how long it's going to take to get paid back. So 2, 3, 7 plus that, carry the 3 plus the 7, 740, we'll call it. 9, $10, 11, 12, let's call it 13, 16, let's call it 17, plus today's upcoming payment, or Friday's upcoming payment. So it's paid out like roughly $19 in its 7 months. And it's down $10 in, or $11 in share price, right? So you're still up if you bought this right away and you just started taking the cash, or even if you're dripping, you're still up a little bit here. Interesting though, right? Like it's only, it's doing really well in payment, that's for sure. So can it keep that pace up? Only time will tell. All right, next up we have a brand new baby over at YieldMax, and this is Dre. Dre is a DraftKings options play. One of the options I looked at 3 years ago was DraftKings because it paid a very volatile distribution, right? Or premium, sorry, I should say, but paying out $2.19. Dre, where are you? Here we are, 219. This is its first payment. So nothing to really relate off. Dre's amount of money in the fund, very small. So $2.62 million, only 50,000 shares outstanding. That's pretty good for if you're a shareholder of Dre. Share price of Dre since it's come out is up 3.39%. So it's only been out for a month and 5 days here, which is kind of interesting, right? Up 5% in that time. We're getting into football season, the prime time for betting. You got college football, of course, and then you got the NFL right around the corner. This is when I actually thought about getting into DraftKings a few years ago. It was right around prime time for betting, but interesting how it's doing so far. Let's look at Fiat, which is the opposite of CONY. It's trying to short Coinbase, paying out 26% or 101% payback there annualized. Let's go to look at it here. I've never been a fan of the shorts, but definitely paying higher than the previous 2 months here. Share price is an abysmal $3.48, but it's up 18% in the last month here. Specifically over the last 5 days, it is up. Come on now, let's do this. Up 5.78% in the last 5 days, but since it's come out, down 82%. But if the market continues to dive, then this is going to continue to go up. Could be a good hedge for you, not for me, but for you, could be a good hedge. Next, let's talk about HOOY. I'm thinking like this is pretty low. I was expecting over $6 on HOOY. Their synthetic crushed it over the last month. They had 2 synthetics that did incredible. Their weeklies did fairly well too. That's why I was thinking it was going to be over $6. But you know what? I'm not going to cry over them paying me $3.85 per share. I own 16 shares, so you do the math on that. I don't know, in the $50 range coming my way. And I'm not buying any more HOOY. I'm just going to take the cash and invest it into ULTY. But $3.85, this is going to be, pretty good distribution from them. Of course, I want it over $6, right? But maybe next month, maybe they're trying, I don't know what they're trying to do, right? But Robinhood share price coming down over the last 5 days. Same with HOOY because of that. And you could see, they've done 2 payments in the $3, 2 payment in the $6 range here so far. Let's take a look at share price here today, down 5%. Everybody, not looking good today. Over the last month, down 12%. Now, this thing earlier today, when I looked at it, maybe even last night, it was at $72. Oh my goodness. I could have swore I saw a 72, right? So this thing's up and down like a yo-yo. I did see a 72. Look at that. On Monday, I saw the 72. Or Tuesday, yeah, yesterday, 9:30 in the morning, it was $72. So since then, down $7 in share price. A lot has to do with the underlying stock itself. But, since it's come out, it's up 21% in share price. My average cost on this is $69. So I'm down $4 in share price, but I've got 3 I will have, as of this Monday, 3 distributions so far. HOOY, AUM, $236 million. A lot of people interested in this fund. The reason, like, they crushed their synthetic. They did amazing. And I mean, the last time I looked at this, there was only 3 million outstanding shares. Now there's 3,450,000 outstanding shares on it. So interesting play for sure. I mean, I think I'm going to get paid back on this one pretty quickly. And that's why I'm not reinvesting in this fund. I'm just taking the cash to put it into something that I want to see grow. Next, we have MSFO, 31 cents, a little Microsoft play here. 31 cents lower than every single month since March on MSFO. MSFO share price today, $17.68 over the last month, down 3.12%. Not too shabby at all. Down just a little bit, but since it's come out, oh yeah, here we go. Look at that chart. Not true. This is not Game of Thrones, okay? But since it's come out, we could call it down like $3 because it came out at $20 a share here. That chart's not correct. Look at the next one, NFLY, little Netflix. I was watching, it's called The Waterfront. I can't remember. I'm only on episode 2 of that thing. NFLY, 46 cents here. Interesting, right? So pretty consistent on distributions on NFLY over the last 3 months here. NFLY share price today, $17.10 over the last month, down 5% in share price. Again, the last couple of days I have a lot to play with that, and you know, that can't be true. I think we're having chart issues over at Google here, but it's probably down $3, same as MSFO. This thing came out at $20, you know, over a year ago, over 2 years ago. Actually, 2 years, right? Wow. Okay, that's interesting. You know what? Have you been paid back in full on your Nefly purchase if you bought 2 years ago? That's something that you may want to look into. I'm sure you're darn close if you haven't. That's for sure. All right, last one. PP Pie, 34 cents. Every time I say PP, there's a ear out this door that says, "Did you just say PP?" 34 cents on PP. Not a Palantir play. No, it's not. PayPal play, and a little higher than last month, which was 27 cents. PP here, $11.43. In the last month, down 10% in share price, down 42%. And this one's more of a true chart here, down 42% since it came out September 29th. So it's coming up on 2 years of being out on the market. You can see all of the distributions it's paid out in the 2 years. So, I mean, you're probably just slightly ahead if you had bought right at the beginning of this one. But yeah, interesting little play for sure. How much money is in this fund here? 61 million or 5,300,000 outstanding shares in this fund. So those are your announcements. For me, I'm not super pleased with CONY or HOOY, but who am I? Who am I to complain about them paying me money every single month, right? I'll take the money, I'll go take it, and I'll put it into a fund that I really want to build up. And I'm gonna have a video about that tomorrow. I'm gonna put last week's video right at the end of this one, so you may want to take a look at that before you watch tomorrow's video. But let me know your feelings down below. Are you kind of the same way I am, impartial? You know, you're taking your distributions and building up other funds. What are you doing with the money? Are you dripping? Let me know below. Lowering your average cost. I would love to hear from you. Hit the like, the subscribe, and the join button down below. I'd love to have some new members. Right now we're at 17. Let's get that up to 20 in the next couple weeks. My name is Mike. This channel is Health and Wealth. Have a great day. Bye for now.